I'm John O'Hara, and this is DIY News. Stephen Falback, welcome to DIY News. How are you doing today?
I am exceptionally well.
Well, thank you for coming out here today. You've got some very interesting art projects that you've been doing, and you've been traveling all over the nation with the Gnome Nation. Stephen, why gnomes?
Well, to be honest, I'm really not sure. They come to me like legitimately. I had a thought, and then there was this little guy talking to me, and then I become obsessed with chainsaw carving and making gnomes. Man, they're trapped all over. Like
the gnomes are trapped.
Hundreds of years ago, people were trying to steal their hats because of the power they had, and they start hiding in trees. And now they're trapped all over the country, and I hear their voices, man, and so I gotta go get them. And whew,
so you're saving these gnomes,
yeah.
And these gnomes have magical hats.
Well, yeah, and then I find worthy families, you know, to adopt them to, because I can't take care of all of them. They eat so much, man. I mean, it's groceries, you know, food.
So who's adopting these? Who's adopting these gnomes?
People all over the country.
And they accept them also as living creatures, as part of some part of the living world. Is that what I'm to understand?
I hope so.
You hope so. Now, are you picking these people out? Are you just adopting these to anybody?
No.
Are you? These guys have to be somebody really good to accept these gnomes.
They have to go through a process of you know, the fee.
An adoption process.
Well, no, just the fee.
The fee. Just the fee. So for a fee, you can adopt one of these gnomes if you are a good family.
If.
So recently, you were at the World Series with a giant gnome. How big is this gnome? It's 10 feet, 11 feet tall?
10 feet.
10 feet tall gnome, and he's dressed as a Royals fan. Is this the first time a gnome has ever been to the World Series?
Yeah, he made history. He's
well, I saw
world famous.
I saw the interviews in the Kansas City Star and on television.
Yeah.
There were people going crazy over these things. People wanted to see these gnomes. They wanted a gnome for themselves. They wanted to be in pictures with these gnomes. They're just getting crazy. I mean, they're perverse, actually. These people coming up and just taking selfies with gnomes. It's disgusting. I mean.
Can I get a picture of this?
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. Do you want him to take the picture?
Yeah.
Let's take him somewhere. Let's do something with him.
I've been working with like a lot of businesses doing commercial art and showing them how they can actually buy my art and how they can pay for it and how I can get them advertising.
Oh gosh, it's pretty fantastic. I mean.
And it's a really simple technique that I come up with, and it basically started with the World Series. The World Series was like huge. Like, so I have a giant garden gnome because I get obsessed by the gnomes, and I just, you know, I've always been kind of a KC fan, born and raised up here. I remember when they were in the World Series in '85, and so I come up here with the giant gnome, and it's on ESPN, MLB. I was on like MTV, off the bat, I believe is the name of the show. I was interviewed from everywhere from San Francisco to Canada to Texas, written up in, oh man, from Sporting News to Kansas City Star. My pictures still of that gnome to this day they're like next to George Brett.
You know what? You kind of look like a gnome.
I think I'm transforming.
I think he looks like a gnome.
Or I always was.
What would your gnome name be? Your name's Stephen Falback. You are the leader of the Gnome Nation, or the procurer of the Gnome Nation. But what is your gnome name?
The Gnome Dude.
The Gnome Dude.
Gnome Duderini. Mr. Dude. And whether they be gnomes or metal stick figures or rock sculptures or paintings, or there's so many outlets for art. And most people aren't even looking at them, but yet what they don't realize is they're looking at them every day. Like, art is everything. Like, the creation process and the creating things is everywhere. The evolution of So the day 7 thing again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Day 1, I found a log. Day 2, there's something I was supposed to do day 2. Start making the gnome. His hat was formed.
Day 3, I can get us all started, and I really don't want to talk about day 3 anymore.
Day 4, I started to carve the gnome. And you start seeing it like when I start doing it, and then day 4 is over. So, day 5, I created a chick. That's how good I am.
Day 6,
Day 7. Nah, it's all good, dude. I was just thinking of the tie downs as bondage. This is 50 Shades of Gnome.
Funny. It's pretty fantastic. I mean.